Well, the firefighters of Kansas City still evaluating what was left behind by that fire. It broke out in this warehouse you see back here, located in the 5300 block of Municipal Avenue. Now, this is the home of many city services, a lot of public works out here, but that warehouse also has that evidence storage room that we mentioned. So at this point, we don't know what impact this may have on that evidence. It's possible that there's some evidence here that's being stored from cases long ago, and firefighters say the sprinkler system here actually took care of most of the fire, so it's probably fairly concentrated in there. Firefighters say as such that may be an electrical fire by nature, but all of that's still being evaluated at that time. We do see police coming and going from this area this morning. That wouldn't necessarily be out of the ordinary, but certainly police are going to have to assess the damage of this fire as to what impact it has on evidence that was stored there. Now, as far as a cause goes, that remains under investigation. We mentioned that firefighters suspect maybe an electrical issue here, but it's too early to say at this point in the morning.
A developing story overnight. Firefighters put out a fire at a city-owned building. It happened near Front Street and Shoto Traffic Way.
But it's what's inside that building that's raising some questions this morning. 41 Action News reporter Charlie Keegan joins us with a closer look at this situation. Charlie, a lot of things to figure out about exactly why this burned.
Well, exactly. That's kind of the root of the investigation right now, Taylor. The police department confirms that this building that caught fire is a property and evidence storage room. And this morning, there is a big police presence here. You can see in the parking lot more than a dozen police cars parked out here. The fire department has given them the all clear to go inside the building, say it's safe for them to go in there and start their investigation into what caused this fire and what kind of damage it did. The police department said that this is a large building and there's a lot of evidence and property in here, so it's going to take them a long time to sort through it all and figure out what has been damaged or compromised. The police department said that the fire department alerted them about this fire around 1 o'clock this morning. The fire department was here for several hours putting the fire out. Actually, they said they didn't really have to put too much of the fire out because the sprinklers inside the building actually put the fire out, extinguished those flames, but there was plenty of smoke inside the building. So that's kind of what firefighters focused on when they got here this morning. Now, throughout the later parts of the morning, we have seen several officers kind of going in and out of the building here through this garage door. There are fans outside of the garage door surrounding this building to really help air it out. As far as what caused this fire, there does not appear to be any immediate information related to that as of yet. Reporting live in Kansas City, I'm Charlie Keegan, 41 Action News Today on 38 The Spot.
Weeks following a fire at a building that the KCPD housed evidence, concerns are growing about how many cases may have to be delayed or even dismissed. KCTV5's Kelly Taylor spoke to one attorney about the impact the fire could have.
One defense attorney says he found out property was unavailable in the courtroom. And he says with new information about KCPD's warehouse fire a couple weeks ago, he thinks it's bigger than he was led to believe.
The prosecutor informed the court that the police were using their best efforts to get the audit completed and were spending $25,000 a day to accomplish that.
About 3 weeks ago, Kansas City Police Sergeant Jacob Bakina described a fire at a property storage warehouse on Municipal Avenue. He said some shelves in a small portion of the building that housed evidence and property involved in crimes were burned and destroyed. This week, criminal defense attorney Dan Ross learned police were doing an audit of that fire.
The upshot of it is large amounts of physical evidence that's been recovered for use in prosecution of criminal defendants is not available for use at trial.
Ross has 2 trials next week where property was recovered. One involved a shooting in Westport a couple years ago where several people were hurt. Those hearings have been continued. He says property is on hold and it's not being provided to prosecutors. However, the state is getting lists of available property in pending cases.
Those lists are what I am complaining we are not getting promptly provided. I finally got one today on a case that was set for next week.
Ross is confident everything will be figured out, but says it makes for a delay. He's filing motions in all of his cases asking for a list of available evidence and details on what's been destroyed or damaged. Ross says if cases are significantly delayed, he'll ask for lower bonds or dismissal if critical evidence is destroyed. Ross says next week a representative from the police department is supposed to give a judge in District 3 an explanation of the audit process. In Kansas City, Kelly Taylor, KCTV 5 News.
In March of 2017, prosecutors say Robert Townsend shot and killed 2 people. His defense attorney
Always work to do.
says evidence in that case is compromised.
They didn't take the soaked, wet, soggy bags out of the warehouse because trial was coming up. They just let them sit there, and they got moldy and moldy and moldy.
Since KCPD's evidence building caught on fire in August of last year, Attorney Dan Ross has been outspoken about wanting to know the impact.
I want it all. I want to see what the fire did to the property.
Now, records in Townsend's case reveal more than 50% of all the evidence stored in that room was either affected by water or heat. Hundreds of thousands of evidence bags were stored there.
It is a big deal. A lot of times, cases hinge on, one word, one bit of evidence.
He says prosecutors and police have been reluctant to release information, and he worries some people are waiting behind bars unaware the evidence in their case is gone.
As a defense practitioner, I'm discouraged a little bit or disappointed. Slowly but surely we are getting the information that we need.
He understands police need to be cautious and says there's still much more to learn.
Nobody's been down this road before. What do you do when the evidence room burns up?
William Joy, KMBC 9 News.
Kansas City, Missouri police say they are confident that ServPro handled the evidence up to their standards when processing it from the building. Officials say they haven't had any cases dismissed as a result of the fire and are continuing to take inventory and see what evidence was in there.